We pilgrims have now crossed the vast Castilian plateau from east to west. After passing through Astorga, we then began our ascent to Mount Irago until we finally arrived here, the Cruz de Ferro, the very summit of the French Way of St. James. This place is reached after passing Rabanal del Camino and Fonsebadon on the way up. Here, we reach 1500 meters in height. The landmark is nothing out of the ordinary, as it is a wooden post about 5 meters tall topped with an iron cross. Hence the name Fierro in Leonese and Ferro in Galician. It stands on a mound of several meters of pebbles, but the fact that we have climbed up here pushes us pilgrims forward. Santiago de Compostela feels closer than ever. The truth is that the origin of the place is not known for certain, but there are several possible theories. The first is that it was erected so that it could be clearly seen amidst the abundant snowfalls. The second, that it was a Roman-era landmark to mark the boundary between two territories. And the third, that it was a heap of stones erected by passing travelers, and later Christianized with the addition of a cross. This would be perhaps from the time of Bishop Goselmo, who established a hospital and a refuge for pilgrims in Fonsebadon back in the 11th century. Today, the Iron Cross is a symbol of the Way of St. James, and just 200 meters later, it separates two such characteristic regions as Maragateria and Bierzo. Unfortunately, the place has been the target of several attacks due to its isolated location, like the one where they cut the post. Also, the strange habit of many tourists and quite a few pilgrims of leaving trash everywhere makes the site almost a dump where the wind spreads the garbage. The city council orders it to be cleaned when possible, but the easiest thing is that when we arrive here, we should not make it dirty. The historic cross was removed and can be seen today at the Museum of the Roads of Astorga, while a replica was placed in its place. This point is the destination of one of the most well-known traditions of the Camino de Santiago. Pilgrims must carry a stone that represents our worries. The bigger they are, the bigger the stone should be. We must carry it here, to the Iron Cross, and leave it in this pile of stones that has accumulated over the centuries. It represents the liberation from our problems. In reality, I don't believe that leaving the stone is the liberation from our problems, but rather, it's the journeys we take on the Camino de Santiago that have made us reflect and see everything with different eyes, and see that the problems are no longer what we saw in our city. Nevertheless, we will continue with the tradition, as hundreds of thousands of pilgrims have done, and we will also leave our stone.